Hello, hello, it's Nan. How are you? God bless you all. I'm here with a new creation. Mother's Day is just around the corner next month, and my idea was to gift a few of my junk journals to some very special ladies, women who have inspired me to walk this walk of faith. They are pillars who have taught me many things, and this is my way of saying thank you to them. So this is one of the books that I created, and I'm not going to do a flip through it yet. I'm just going to show you the front cover and then just jump right into what I'm doing. But at the end of the video, I will show you the book. Basically, I have a piece of, it's sort of like a canvas cloth, pretty sturdy, which I've cut down to size. And what I'm using for the cover is not a hardcover. So this time it's just going to be a stuffing box that I've cut down. And it is smaller than the other ones that I've created. But just for the purpose of the video, I wanted to make it smaller. But still, it's going to be a gift because I already have the inserts ready. And I just wanted to show you how I covered the books with the cloth. And then I will add the inserts, and I've already prepared a book plate, sorry, for the front of the cover. So this is pretty much, I've created chipboard junk journals before, but they're usually like 3 pieces, the 2 side covers and then the spine. But I found it easier to just leave it whole and work with it that way. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to cover my chipboard with some glue. And yes, I am using glue all. Find it works well. And I know that not every glue works with every material. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue one side down first. And then I'm going to use a brush. I used my fingers for the other one, but I don't think I want to do that on the video. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to brush the glue like this so that it's not clumped up when I put the material on it, because it tends to, it might seep through the material. And this works pretty well. And I'm not sure what that is, but I think I have a piece of hair on my cover. Sorry about that, but I don't think there's any way of editing that. So, but we're good. I got it off. So I'm going to start by putting the material down. And once it's down, it really doesn't matter if this is front or left or right. I mean, as long as you get the cardboard straight. And there we go. And the spine is 1 11/16. And the cover from left to right is 4.5, up and down 5 inches. So that's what I'm going to do first. And I have no glue seepage there. And I honestly did not want to use the beacon glue because it's just way too strong for me. Then what I'll do is I'll add a little more glue here. You can be liberal when you first put it down, because once you start brushing with the brush, it's going to pick up some of that glue. Then press down, and believe me, this glue is going to stay in place. I've done this before, and it really works. It's just easier. I did try beacon glue on one of the other books and just had a tiny bit of seepage, but I was able to save it by covering it with something. And it worked just fine. So this is what I'm going to do. Put it down. just use the brush to go back and forth. And what that does is just going to make it a thin layer. And then just use your hand to go back in a back and forth motion. That way the material goes on evenly. And I got this cloth from Walmart. They had it on clearance. I have not seen it since, but I managed to get a whopper of a size when I purchased it. So what you're going to want to do is cut a piece off of the corners, not too much. I'm going to fold those over. A little bit on this side. Then on this corner. And you will use the same glue. And you're going to fold this corner over. And this is where my hands are going to get sticky, but that's okay. And I'll show you what it looks like on this side. So just hold it down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't have to count. Then on this corner, the inside is okay. If the glue seeps through, I'll show it to you in a second. Because that's going to be covered with paper. You can see the glue there. But when you look at the cover, you see no seepage on the cover. So I love working with this glue. Like I said, the other glues, I don't know, it's some type of chemical in it that's just causing me to cough and have a reaction. So, and this works perfectly fine. The word says to honor those who ought to be honored, respected, and this is a way to honor those who have been an inspiration in your walk, in your journey. And that's what I am doing. It's not the first time I do this. I've gifted books before, sisters, blood relatives, friends, sold a few. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go this way with the glue. And I'm going to show you something that I do because in this area here, underneath here, I just want to make sure that glue's down. So I'll add a little bit of glue there and just a tiny bit over here so that this will stick down. It won't clump up. Just make it harder when you put the paper down. I'll add a little bit of glue here and a little more here. Just hold it down till it stays down, and it will. It adheres pretty well. Then we're going to do the same here, which I should have done that first. Would have been easier. And there we go there. And a little here, a little here. And now my fingers are going to get all sticky. There's no way around that one. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this over and just tug a little bit so you make sure that you're nice and snug against the corner of the chipboard. And you do that all the way to the end and then just tuck this in with your finger right here in the corner. You have to pull up a little bit. And I'll show you in just a second what it looks like once it's down. Pull here so that this is snug so that when you turn the book over, you can see that the corners, all this is straight and this is straight. Nice and snug with the corners. And you just do the same on every side. On this, you don't have to use the brush. Then again, this corner here, just hold it down, push it up, pull it, then make that snug there. Hold it for a second. Just make sure all that is level. There we go. This is okay, don't worry about that. You can cut that off once you've glued all the corners down. All the way to the end. And then again, this corner here, I hold it down at an angle so that when I pull up, the cloth is nice and snug on the edge of the chipboard. Okay, keep going till you reach the end. Push that in. And let's see what the other side looks like. Yep. See the corners? They're nice and snug. Nice and snug. And if you add a corner protectors, it makes it look a lot prettier. And I have one last side to do before I put in the inside papers. Okay, and here we do the same. Bring the corner in. And nice and snug, and they're both, it's flush, I think you call it, with the end of the front cover, back cover. And that is how I cover a chipboard with material to make my recyclable junk journals. Then you can just cut the excess off. And then what we're going to do next is I've gone ahead and I cut a piece of the same cloth to size on the spine and I laid it down. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down the inside. Make sure you have enough glue so that sticks down. And also, I am not going to use my brush for this. I won't need to use the brush so long as I have the whole inside covered. And I use my little We Are Memory punch to round the corners so that it look nice and even with the cover, with its round corners. So, okay, that's one. And let's get the other one down. There's nothing more relaxing than creating something. And just creating it as the ideas pop into your head. And they can use these as a Bible verse journal. They can use it as a memory book if they like to. Use it as a study book, small study book. They can put it on the side of the bed at the end table. And have it handy when they want to write something down. I've even heard of people writing their dreams in their journals. So just make sure that when you, let me make sure this is flush here. Close the cover. The paper is not in the way. Okay, now as you can see, there is a little of the chipboard exposed here, but there's something I'm going to do with that, and you will see that in just a moment. So at this point, what I've done is I've taken a piece of ribbon, cut it to size from the top to the bottom to cover that little bit of chipboard that could be seen on the edges of the spine and the cover. I added glue, but I also went ahead and I did a zigzag stitch here and here to give the ribbon extra support, and it could be used as pockets. I don't know if anyone else does this, but after I sew something, I know that you can backstitch to reinforce since you don't put a knot in it, but I don't want that extra hole in there. So, can anyone tell me if they do the same thing? I actually tie the thread in a knot. You cannot see that. Let's see if I can get it. You can't see it. So, just for my peace of mind, I tie it and then I cut the excess off, unless it's something I want all the stitching to hang out of. So, I have 2 pockets there. I can place any little card I want in there, or just about anything I want in there. So that's the cover. Gorgeous. I love the light blue color. It's my color, one of my colors. So there's no seepage here. Edges stuck down, nice and compact. They're not bulging on the edges of the cover. And the material, I didn't mention that when I cut it, I give it about 1/2 inch. I've seen videos. There are more videos out there, and their outside edges might be a little smaller, but I add 1/2 into mine. I wanted a little more to come in, so I didn't mind that there was more. But that's the cover, and now next process. I'm going to be putting in both of the inserts that I created, and once I'm finished with the book, I will show you some of the inside of the book that I created. And after that, last but not least, would be the book plate. So let's get these, and they're not inserts, signatures. Let's get these signatures in. I've gone ahead and put my little pattern down. I have a past video where I show you how to add inserts into your junk journal. I've already put the pattern on the spine. I've folded the paper 4 times, going down and in half, and then another half, and it would give you these lines here, and then you just put the dots where your inserts are going to go. It's not going to be the middle line unless you're going to add a 3rd one in there. I'm just going to put 2 in this one. So as you can see, it's going through the back. I'm not going to be adding any buttons on the back or anything like that. It's going through just fine. Be careful with your fingers. You don't want to poke your fingers. And there we go. If you put it up in the light, you can see they're pretty straight. So there are my holes. So I'm going to use that same paper to create the holes in the center of my, make sure they're straight, in the center of my inserts. So it would be, oops, let me make sure that's straight. Okay, and you take your clip just so you can hold it in, and take that card out. Put your clip so you can hold it in place. Fold it in half, put it in the middle. Let me look on the outside again, make sure it's straight. I think it's a little too far up, so I'm going to bring it down just a tad. Here we go, bingo. Perfect, okay. Whoops. Put that clip back on. center hole goes through. The one on the top. The one on the bottom. So we have one. Now, let's get this baby inside our junk journal. Okay, let's get these signatures in. Start with the middle hole. Whoops, turned around. Middle hole. Hang on to the string so it doesn't come out, and then go through your top hole in through the top hole on the signature, which supposedly is supposed to go in very smoothly, but there it is. It did. Now I take this one and wrap it around my pinky so I want to pull it down with my pinky so that when I go in with the needle, it does not pull on the thread. And it's worked for me. Less of a struggle trying to get through. So there it is. And then I'll either pull the string this way, or you could just let this pull down. It tugs on the thread so that when you go through, you are not going to pull on that thread on the other side. So we get that one through. There's one left, which is the bottom one, which I usually think it's the easiest one since it's the last one. But sometimes I've struggled on that one. So let's see. Sometimes the color of the paper gets in the way, so it went through perfectly. Oh, what's going on? There we go. Perfect. First insert is in. Pull on it. You don't need to tug too hard. Take this off for that last step. Make sure that it's snug. So what I do is I pull it back and just move it a little bit to make sure that it's not too loose. If it is, I will pull on the thread just a little bit more to make it a little tighter. I will take my needle now, go underneath the top thread, let the needle come off. I will tie over, and then I will tie in the other direction. Not sure why I do that, but I do. And another one for good luck. And then you can choose to either let it hang or cut the thread and make a bow right here in the center. You can make a bow. It's up to you. I may hang something on there. I'm not sure yet. But there goes one. You do not see the chipboard here. So it's working well. Now we just have to put the last one in. And hope that it goes in without a hitch. Okay, last signature. I'm going to go through the middle again. The middle hole. Make sure the thread does not go in there. You need a little bit left out. Hold it. Go through the top. Then go through the top hole, which it went through without a hitch. Nice and easy. There we go. Let me pull some of this back. Wrap it around my pinky. Pull down a bit. Goes in without a hitch. There we go. And that's how you know you haven't pulled that thread at all. When you pull this one out, that one stays there. Go through the middle hole. It went through without pulling. Perfect. Go through the bottom hole. Come through issue earlier, trying to get it through there. And this time it went right through. Perfect. There we go. Pull on the threads to make sure the insert is snug. And go through the top thread. Check to make sure that it's not loose. Okay, I thought I put it upside down for a second there. Let me remove this before I finish that last 2 knots. Okay. 1, 2. 3, and there we go. Yay, inserts are in. Beautiful. Look at that. Gorgeous. Perfect length. These came out perfect. I could put whatever I want on here, whether it's a piece of material, just about anything. So what I want to do now is add the plate. Final piece, my book plate. I created this lovely little feature for the front of my book, and it's basically a pocket. I can add a card in there and note if I choose to, and it's actually a little file folder decorated with tidbits, some lacy ribbon, added a cluster with a few things underneath it. Little piece of the ribbon on here from the book in the front. I sewed all of this on there, and I left this string on there because I'm thinking of putting something there to dangle. I'm not sure if it's going to be a button, a flower, something. I just don't know yet. Those are the last few touches that I'm gonna leave because Mother's Day is next month, and I still have a little bit of time to decide what else I want to add. Here is the first one I made that I wanted to show you the innards of. It was also simple. Made a pocket in the back, beautiful pocket. Added some lacy ribbon, added 2 buttons and a ribbon and another button there. Perfect. For some cards that I added in the back. Also a 3 pamphlet stitch. Nice faux ribbon here. Added these Pro Gems to it, and Tim Holtz die cuts in there. Added a ribbon pocket with some cards in there. And here, this is so I can add a pocket to it also. And just a variety of paper, calendar pieces, music paper, stationery. They're pretty much both of the inserts the same. This I'm going to glue together and make it a pocket in the middle. But basically they're both the same. And I still have time to add with tabs, fabric tabs, clips, any type of other things that I choose to add to it. It's beautiful. Also on the other side, more Tim Holtz die cuts, rickrack, more cards. Gorgeous. Not done yet. And my last book that I created, same procedure, just different sizes. I've gone ahead and covered it. Only 2 of them I've sewn around the complete book. Added this gorgeous ribbon, buttons, and as of yet still have much to add to this. But just showing you the basics and how beautiful you can create by recycling these chipboard boxes. I've added some of my own jelly print. And on these, I went ahead and got I'm not even sure what this is called. I've had this for such a long time. I think it even belonged to my son, and I found it within his school things. They're gone from home, so I'm just one of those nostalgic hoarders, I guess. And I created 2 pockets out of it. Sewed it on the sides. Beautiful. More paper. Similar papers. Little file folders made out of calendars. I love them. Added another jelly print that I created. Wrapping paper, coffee dyed paper, music paper. This is also very old wrapping paper that I thrifted. I added doilies on this one, as you can see it very lightly on the coffee dyed paper. And on this one, I also added clear pockets. I may add some pictures in there. I'm not sure. I still have a lot to play with before Mother's Day comes. But this is pretty much what I've been doing for the past week. And this one is a hidden spine, by the way. My first time that I make a hidden spine. I got the double-sided tape on Amazon. And I was holding off on this one because I was not sure at all. I cannot remember. I went back to look on YouTube to see who it was that I got the technique from, but I'll keep looking. When I find it eventually in another video, I will mention it. I will mention her. And the tape was pretty thick, and so was the cardboard that I used to sew the insert onto the cardboard. And you could see that the cardboard was popping out here. So what I decided to do was just add a piece of ribbon on here to cover that. And it came out perfect. It worked just fine. Here I'll add a little more glue on there, but it worked just fine. My first hidden spine, I love it. I will try it again, but I think next time I'm going to use a thinner board on the book. I had a hard time pressing that dowel through the board. And to finish off my video, I am still struggling with whether these are called, I know there's signatures, and I have no idea why I keep calling them inserts. They are signatures, my friends. Thank you very much for joining me. 3 gorgeous books, gifts I'll be giving for Mother's Day. Give it a try. Easy, simple. Not a lot of work to put in these, I guess. Just create. Feel the joy it is to create your own things. And God bless you. Thank you for joining me. Have a good one. Until the next time. Bye-bye.